Hello, darlings. I am Cassandra George Sturgis. Welcome to my channel, Authentic Beauty Handmade Dolls and Crafts. In this video, I am going to show you how to make easy, unique ragdoll shoes. Thank you so much for watching. Now, I know most of the time when we create patterns, we always say put right side to right side. But in order to make these easy ragdoll shoes, you need to place the pattern pieces, the fabric pieces for your pattern, wrong side to right side. And the wrong side is the side of the pop of color that you want to show through the little peephole. So what you're going to do is simply trace the doll's shoe pattern onto your fabric of choice. Now, I'm a little addicted to my little, people call them fat quarters or fabric quarters. I bought them for 97 cents on sale at Joann's. They were 30 to 40% off. And I just decided to match the shoes to my jewel sock ragdoll dress, and I thought it would be really cute. Just let the little pop of color show in through the holes. Now, I don't know where I get these ideas from, but I think they're cute. So what you're going to do is trace the pattern onto your fabric quarters, and once you trace around it, near the point of the shoe, you are going to leave an opening, because you're going to use that opening to turn your shoe inside out. I like to write on my pattern as a reminder to myself to keep this area open. So right at the tip of the toe area, you want to keep it open. And I am drawing on the little circles. Now, you can draw on squares or zigzag or any design that you want. I cannot wait to make another pair of shoes with another design. Like, I don't know what I was thinking, because I love a nice pop of color, and I thought, oh, this would be so cute if I could just make these little holes and have the color beneath it like pop through. And so now I'm just cutting the little holes out with a pair of scissors. And no, I did not measure this. I did not make a particular pattern for it. I just wanted to give myself an idea of where to cut. And another thing about using the fabric quarters that I've used is that, they have this wild design on it. So basically she has on mix match shoes. I thought about it. I said, why did I do this? Well, because it suits my personality. But I think it would be cute also with fabric where it actually matches, especially for doll shoes. I'm using my Jelly Roll pen to trace around the openings of the holes. Because I thought it would be cute to have that little shiny pop, to emphasize the holes. Now, if I'm going to take the time out to make the hole that's going to highlight the fabric beneath it, I want people to know that I did that. So I use my Jelly Roll pen to highlight that area. I also wanted that hold area to look a little bit more ragged. So I stuck my finger in it, and I kind of, wanted it to have a little bit of strings, just to look a little torn, or just a little bit more unpolished. You know how I like things to look polished or sharp? I wanted the holes not to look so polished. I wanted it to pop more. And so what you'll see later on in the video is that even after I use my Jelly Roll pen to circle around the little hole area, now it looks really pretty in person, but I noticed it wouldn't pop on camera, and so I decided to add some glitter. Yes, I took my my glitter glue. It's a glitter glue pen, and I circled the area. See how pretty that is? I hope you can see it. And then after it dried, it still was just a little too flat for me. So then I decided to use my crystal coat glaze that I'm so in love with, and it put like a layer of this crystal glaze on top, and man, was that pretty. So don't forget, the pattern, the fabric at the bottom should be the wrong side. You want to have the wrong side at the bottom so that when you turn it inside out, the right side will show through the little holes. Now that I have put the holes in the top portion of the shoe, I am going to place it on top of the fabric of the shoe, the color that I want to pop through, and then I'm going to sew around my ragdoll shoe pattern, leaving the pointed area open. And then I'm going to cut it out of the square. Now, back in the day, I used to cut the pattern out and sew around the pattern. I don't know why I did that, and the little edges would jam into my sewing machine. It was a disaster. Seriously, they used to come loose. I didn't get it. So make sure that you draw the pattern onto the fabric, and then once you sew around it, then cut it out. And you may want to take your scissors and put some little clippings, like just a little tick, 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 clip, 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 tiny little clips around the little areas so that it won't puckle and in the corners. Now, I didn't do that for this because it was pretty close together. And what I like about these fabric quarters, or what people use for quilting, is that the fabric is so thin that it reminds me of paper. And it doesn't, if you're a little bit too rough, if you decide to use this fabric, it will rip on you. So you want to be a little bit careful. But what I love about it is that using this fabric with the rag sock doll is that because the fabric is so light and the doll is made from a sock, it's really a good mix. So you're bringing two light fabrics together. And because the rag sock doll is a knitted fabric, you really don't want to put a lot of knit on knit, because the knit from one sock or from the knitted fabric will actually cause your doll to develop lint balls. So this fabric doesn't, there's no lint on the doll when you use this fabric, and that's another thing I love about it. I am now cutting out the sole for my sock ragdoll shoes. Now, what's interesting about this is that when you typically make a shoe, it's not a flat, like horseshoe, filled in horseshoe. And so that was kind of interesting to me, but I enjoyed it because it was breaking a lot of rules and it looks weird, and that's what I like also. So what works for me is when you're going to line up the upper portion of the shoe, the fabric portion, to the felt sole, and you're going to line it up toe to toe. So the first thing you want to do is align your toes for your felt sole and for your upper portion, and pin that together. And then, now what I like to do when I sew it is I would go and actually sew the toes in place and then go and sew the edges. And the reason I like to do that is because as long as you have the toes in alignment, you are more likely to make your shoe is going to turn out perfectly. So after I line up the toes, I go ahead and I line up the edges. Now you want to make sure that you have space on the inside of the shoe so that your doll's foot can fit in. And if you made a sock doll, she's probably going to have a little bit of a fat foot. And you want to make sure she has enough space. So just make sure that the edges of your upper portion line up with the sole, with the felt sole, and you should have a nice amount of space where the shoe buckles, not, but space on the inside of the shoe. It should not, your shoe should not be flat. It should have space for her foot. I think it is best to use your straight pins to hold your upper portion of your shoe to your felt sole, and this will hold it in place nicely so that you're less likely to make mistakes with the shoe. See, and this worked out really well. So I sewed around the edges of the shoe, and now I'm going to turn it inside out, and I think it's just the cutest little thing. Oh, look at there. I think it is so cute. I mean, I don't know why I made a shoe like this. I mean, I didn't see anybody do it. There aren't any patterns for it. But this is what popped in my head. Like, oh, wouldn't this be cute? But then I looked at it and I thought, that looked like 2 eyes and a nose and maybe a mouth that's wide open. Like, Sandy, what were you thinking, right? And, but then I thought, but when you turn the little sides down, you have that nice pop of color, and you see those little sides, they look like wings almost. I couldn't decide if I wanted to put strings in them, and I texted my friend Tanya Montague, Dolls Montague. She is just amazing, and I said, I don't know what to do with the top of the shoe. She was like, oh, you could use a button hook, you could use eyelets, you could use a ribbon. I was just like, oh my god, I feel like such an idiot. Like, what was I thinking? So anyway, that would be a nice touch as well, but then I really preferred it open and so that she left it alone. So as you can see here, I'm using my glitter glue pen to emphasize my little peekaboo holes. Oh, see how, I don't know, it's still beautiful to me. I think next time I'll use a more creative design, like I'll make better holes, but I still love it. And after this dries, I'm going to add my crystal coat glaze so that it will, pop and have that nice little, I mean, come on, you gotta admit this shoe is kind of cute. I mean, I think it's cute. Oh, okay. I am now adding my crystal coat glaze that I'm absolutely and totally in love with on top of the glitter around the little holes, and it dries. It gives it like a clear dome shape, and it really brings out those little cute little glittery holes. Oh. And I don't know, I think they're cute, guys. But I'm thinking that I'm going to make a pair maybe with some eyelets and put like some ribbon in it to give her like a little of a ballet shoe, or maybe a strap across the shoe. I mean, I don't know, but I like the pop of color, the way it opens out so much that I'm gonna keep it like this. I know there's a doll inside of you who is just dying to come to life, but only you can breathe life into her. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.